Good morning, I'm Ms. Deline here with your daily oracle card. And today's card is inspiration. Notice the bees. An idea has captured your attention, or will do so very soon. It may be a grand vision, or the vague sense of something that could be. You are being encouraged to accept the vision, the idea, or the inspiration as it is important to your creative and spiritual growth. Also, it is possible. The bee is bringing you healing medicine wisdom from nature to aid the message of the Oracle of Inspiration. The bee is a powerful spirit totem. Bees are able to fly with wings that are significantly small in proportion to their heavier bodies. They can do so because the sheer speed with which their wings move. Your idea, even if it seems like a big, substantial plan that might be difficult to get off the ground and up and running, can succeed. You will attract great helpers to you, and the earth will support the success of this project, idea, or vision because it's about helping the greater good as well as your own growth and development. And it's my belief that as we do what's to our highest good, it's to the highest good of all. When the Earth Mother lends you nature wisdom to support your healing and growth, you know you have an exceptionally powerful ally to your cause. Let this bring you confidence. If you allow inspiration to fill you with enthusiasm and expectation of magic and marvelous synchronicity as people, situations, and opportunities fall into place to help bring your inspiration into reality. Have you ever had that synchronicity in your life where things just like boom, 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 boom? That's how I ended up on the coast. This idea has the potential to flower into so much more than you realize. It has great potential. It can become something that feeds and nourishes others on their creative and personal healing paths too. It has the quality of a mission and is so much more than one singular idea. When an inspiration comes from the greater creative intelligence of the universe, even when it makes itself known as an idea coming through a human source, all that is needed to bring it into being will be available at the right time. For the human channel of the idea, it is just a matter of being open, receptive, trusting, and enthusiastic about what has come through. Everything required for each step will be naturally attracted to support the success of the project according to divine timing. This oracle also comes with the message that you are a vehicle for inspiration. You are meant to think and do things differently. You are capable of receiving fresh ideas that are not so out there or different that they stop being practical, helpful, and wonderful. You're being asked to avoid the trap of doubting your ideas are special or interesting enough. Your inspiration comes direct from the universal creative source, and you are being asked to believe and recognize the signature of great intelligence within your inspirational ideas and creative urges, and to act accordingly. To sum up, this card indicates that sweet success, like abundant honey, is coming your way through your commitment to and development of an idea that you have already had or will soon receive. See it through to the end. Believe. Such a beautiful card. I don't know about you, but I'm a walking inspiration, or I'm filled with inspiration, whatever. So what I've noticed is that sometimes I think of it as an inspiration. Sometimes I think of it as a calling, depending on what it is, right? And when I follow that, it's always a good thing. So because I'm a creative person, an artistic mentality or whatever you want to call it, I'm inspired every day, all day long by a multitude of things, right? Sometimes I feel bombarded with inspiration. And so for me, I have to go below the surface of that and listen to what, it's hard to explain, but just check in and see what it's important to pay attention to now, in the now, right? So I have these long to-do lists, and these are the things, the short things. I've tried to narrow it down daily now, to what I absolutely need to do today, and always leave room for that inspirational thing, that inspiration, that creation. And then I have lists of, like, in the near future and in the far future. So, all those books I want to write. And so when we follow that, the honey does come into our life. That synchronicity. So synchronicity, an example of that is when you're inspired to do something, and it doesn't seem like you don't know if it's the right thing to do or not. And then all the things fall into place that support you in doing that thing that you felt inspired to do, but didn't really feel the confidence or the knowing that it was going to happen, right? And then all these things start to happen. People show up. You get phone calls. One time, I haven't thought of this in years, many, many years. I am a Reiki master, and I took the first level of Reiki, and I really wanted to take the second level of Reiki, and it cost $500, and that was, oh my gosh, 35 years ago, maybe more, I don't know. And so I was inspired by this healing method. I was so inspired by it. And I wanted to learn as much as I could. I wanted to take the next level, but how could I do that? I was a single parent of a little girl, and I had just like a part-time income. And I received a $500 check in the mail. It was from my grandmother, and she called it an early inheritance. Now, it's not like I was in touch with my grandmother, hadn't talked to her in years, and she lives in Arizona, I lived in Oregon, and this check shows up, $500, exactly what I needed. It was just amazing. So obviously, what felt impossible was possible. I received that inspiration. I felt that inspiration, and it was supported by the universe. So I needed that lesson. I was really young, and I needed that lesson to show me that what I'm inspired to do is important. And one of the things it said in here was something about, because it is about helping the greater good as well as your own growth and development. And that's something to keep in mind, that even if it seems like a small thing, it will help the greater good. So you've heard of the ripple in the pond, where you throw the rock in, and the little pebble into the pond, and it causes a ripple, and that ripple, it's a bigger ripple where the stone is, but then it just echoes out from there and goes all the way across the pond. In other words, that tiny action, even the little tiny stone, affected the whole pond. So we forget, or we don't have that conscious awareness that everything we do, every word we speak, every day causes a ripple in the cosmic pond. So that's why it's important, even if it's a small inspiration, to follow that thread, because something you create, whether it's a painting, whether it's a little glass bead, whether it's a story, whether it's just maybe it's music, maybe it's just a different way of doing something, or changing your schedule. Just, it can be something just little, so simple. Taking a class, that tiny thing, you follow that inspiration, it could ultimately change the world. It might be subtle. It's not like, there's no guarantee that the song you write is gonna, become a $1 million worldwide phenomenon. But that song that you write, or you might be humming, might bring solace to somebody who needed it at that time, and shifts their energy, lifts them up, so that they are able to touch someone else who touches someone else who touches someone else. So you never know. Just follow that inspiration, big or small, and I call it the adventure of life. You never know where it's going to lead you. Anyway, today's card, inspiration. You are my inspiration. Namaste.